Welcome back to another episode. This episode is rather alarmingly called Business is Horrible, and I do have a secondary title I'm working on, which is Terrible Advice. Terrible advice that will make it work. This video isn't necessarily for strangers. You know, sometimes videos pop off and new people find them and it's got to be really concise. This isn't that. This video is a conversation with friends. If I've known you for a while, if you've followed me for a while, and you wish I could just talk straight to you, telling you what you have to do to turn this around, to drum up sales, to feel like you're on the right path, that you're going to make it, that things are going to work, this is my terrible advice to turn it all around and make it work. Are you ready? Let's frickin' go. So this video is inspired because I have spoken to so many people who, and they think they're the only ones, who tell me they're going to quit. It's not working. It's too hard. And I agree with everything they say. Yes, you're going to want to quit. Like, yes, I think you want to quit right now. Yes, this is hard. Yes, it feels like it's never going to work. And I'm not even going to be cheesy and say, oh, that's how it feels just before you have a breakthrough. Nope. Sometimes it takes years, even after that point, before you even have a breakthrough. And the breakthrough isn't a post went viral or, you know, all of a sudden you got this big 10K contract and it solved everything. I think typically you look back 3 years later and you realise that you're living what you wished for 3 years ago. And then the weird thing is that isn't even enough. Like, some of you listening and watching today might be in a situation where you finally did leave that job. You finally did move cities. Now you're filming the third version of an online course when once upon a time you didn't know what camera equipment you needed. You were too scared to talk to camera. There's an evolution in you. You're already making progress. You're already much further ahead than you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And you've got to let go of what you gave up. I've had people compare themselves to the past version of themselves and say, if I'd have just stayed in a career, this is where I'd be now. You were never going to stay in that career. Ever, never, ever, never, never. And I doubt you'll ever be able to go back because you're a different kind of person. The only way through this for you is through it. And I think so many people are avoiding the work because they're waiting for a quick fix, some kind of miracle almost, or some kind of intervention, forgiveness even, permission, I don't know, where all of a sudden they're allowed to go and things happen. It's like everyone's waiting. Like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting to happen so that you can declare yourself a winner and be successful? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a particular person to say, this is good work, well done? Are you waiting until you reach a certain threshold in terms of the number of customers that you've got? Are you waiting until you've got a better camera to start filming your stuff? What are you waiting for? You're waiting for something, I know you are, because everyone I work with is waiting for something to happen. What you don't realise is that is going outside of yourself. It's putting it outside of you and taking away the power that you have. You have the power right now to stop whatever you're doing, including this video, and go write a blog. You've got the power right now to stop whatever you're doing, even if you're watching this video, listening on audio, whatever, to go and reply to that email that you've been putting off because it's difficult, to go and set your camera up, make a video. It'd be rubbish and you delete it, but at least you tried. You can do that. You can do that right now. You don't need anybody's help. You don't need any more specialist equipment. If you're consuming this content, I know you've got the equipment needed to go make a piece of content and put it out there right now. So that's the first thing. I want you to stop waiting for somebody else to say go. Even I think people wait for like a partner to recognise how hard they're working, or to say, do you know, I'm really proud of what you've done. And it's almost like they need that validation to be able to go and do the next thing. You can't have that as an entrepreneur. And if you want it, you've got to get into communities where the community leader sets that up. So you might get into a community where every week you begin with a recognition point, or you work with somebody who asks you about what you've done and what you've achieved. You can set that up. You could do that in your journal. You could create a jar where every day you put in the jar something that you've done. Again, you, I, me, we, us, we can do it. Stop waiting for someone else and go and do it. You can do it. And in doing it, you will change your freaking life. The realisation I had on this was my mum, who I love dearly. She's like my favourite person. I love my mum to bits. She's amazing. She said to me one day, Lisa, and she still says it to me now, she says, Lisa, you're going to get a lucky break. I know one day someone's going to find you, someone's going to discover you, and you're going to get a lucky break. And I held on to that for years and years and years. Not like in a blame way, like this is not anything like that. I needed that hope. I was like, yeah, Mum, one day, one day. And a few years ago, I said to myself, Lisa, no, this is so morbid. No one's coming, no one's going to help, nothing's going to happen. Work like you're never going to get a lucky break. And the weird thing is, the more I worked, the more I made. The more hours I put in, the better I got. The longer I sat at my desk, the more I produced. And I think there's a feeling or an ethic or a message online that is really big on the work-life balance. And I think the work-life balance has gone so far the other way, where now all the entrepreneurs want to spend all their time journaling and writing and feeling in alignment. Nope, entrepreneurship sucks, being in business sucks. And one of the biggest things you're going to have to learn to deal with is the discomfort all the time. Because even when you reach a level where you're like, oh, cool, I figured that out, you're never going to get that feeling unless you consciously bring it in. You won't get that feeling because your vision expands, your dream expands. It's human nature to want to grow. Think of the size of the force within us that wants to expand and show the world our full potential. When you arrive at a juncture that you've wanted to be at for years, you've already left it. You're already thinking about the next thing that you can do, which means you will once again be in a state of discomfort. And I think a lot of us will spend a lot of time writing in our journals, this is really hard, I'm really tired, this has been going on a long time. And we keep affirming the feeling almost as justification for avoiding the next step. I noticed I was doing this because every time I went to see my hairdresser, who I love, hello Nicola, she won't see this, but I love my hairdresser. And every time I go, I can see that she's had a lot with people talking at her all day, and I just can't wait to see her and chat with her. She's got the best chat, and I make sure I ask a lot of questions to see what's going on with her and not use it as a free therapy session, guys. Hairdressers are not therapists. Like, they're people too, you know. Every time I went to see her and she'd say, Lisa, what's new with you? And my answer was always, do you know what, Nicola, I'm really tired. I've been really busy. And the last time I went to see her, I said, Nicola, I'm sorry for my boring repeat narrative. Ask me again. She said, how's life? I said, Nicola, life's great. I've got everything I ever asked for. I'm busy and I'm full and it's just what I wanted. How are you? And just that reframe. Another reframe I did recently was, I have been... Let me start again. And this isn't an edit to cut Chris, who's editing this. You can leave this whole thing in. I'm reframing myself. My diary is wonderfully full. I'm very blessed to have so many clients. And so, yeah, there's less time to watch Dexter reruns. End of discussion. I used to say, I'm so busy, I'm so tired, I'm afraid of all the things that I've got. And then I'd look and I'd think, man, Lisa, you wanted this. You wanted more work, more clients, more revenue. Let's go. And I would think, I'm too busy to do it, I haven't got time to do it. Like my master's, my degree, this thing I'm working on. And lately I've started saying to myself, there's time. I've always got time. There's plenty of time. I did this to my diary in my life. I chose this. And I can choose again any moment, any day. So the reframe all the time on how you're feeling, on what you're going through. Stop saying things like, I'm tired, therefore. It's not fair, therefore. Instead, we want to be saying things like, wow, yeah, my diary's really full. Or, do you know, I'm working really hard at the moment for no rewards. No, don't say that. I'm working really hard at the moment and I know that I'm growing, I'm evolving, and this work will pay off. The danger zone is when you look at your diary and your week, you reflect back and you realise you've spent the majority of the week thinking about how bad it is, talking about how bad it is, bringing into life how bad it is, instead of just using the opportunity to work. And this might be like one of the harsher things about me, but lately I've just stopped having an opinion on the work. I write the list. I say to myself, what do you have to do? This is a great coaching question. A lot of times people want to speak to me because they want clarity and they want to agree a plan. And I think you could do this. It's not that you need my help to make the plan. You need my help to feel okay about how awful this plan is. That's why a lot of people speak to me, to be motivated, to be challenged, to open their mind, to feel supported, to up a skill in a certain area, to feel like they're not doing it on their own. So I'm just going to say that again. It's not that you need help with the plan. I know you could write a plan. If I say to you, this is where you want to get to, this is where you are, what are the next 5 things you have to do in order? Are you telling me you don't know? Because I'd be like, liar, you do know. You do know. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you can't figure it out. It's not that. You're afraid to write it down. You're afraid to admit it. You're afraid that you haven't got what it takes to do it. And I'm telling you, you have. I've seen it time and time again in people. And I've seen it time and time again in myself. Once I've reframed, these are the things I have to do, there's no way around this. It's through. It's through. It's through. And in going through the challenge, I evolve, I grow, I develop new skills, and I become a more commercially valuable person. That's the thing. I'm at a stage in my life now where I've got skills. My dad, he's a photographer. Like, in the last 5 years he's become a wedding photographer. He's amazing, very, very talented. He's helped me out on loads of photo shoots for Dare to Grow and with some of my big commercial clients actually. Thanks, Dad, if you see this. He's really good. And whenever he takes a photo and I go, Dad, that's a good photo, that. He goes, your dad's got skills, Lisa, your dad's got skills. And it's like a joke, your dad's got skills. And I was like, do you know, I've got skills. I've spent my whole life developing skills in media, in videos, in managing and creating messages and building courses and changing people's lives. And now's a period of my life where I get to use those skills in exchange for something else. So what I'm saying to you is, it's not that you don't know what to do. It's that you're afraid of how difficult the plan is to execute. You're afraid of what's ahead of you. But what's ahead of you? Evolution, growth, more value. You don't get that for free. You don't get it because you said you needed it. And you don't get it because someone said, double your price. You get it because you earned it. You get it because you're valuable, because you're worth that in exchange for whatever, right? The skills and knowledge you've already got that's worth something, if you want to get to the next level, you can't cheat those skills, you can't ask for those skills, you can't buy a course and like the Matrix kind of just get those skills in via, I don't know, a cable in the back of your head. Can't do it. I don't even want to say this, but it's true. Growth equals suffering. You've got to suffer, because the suffering is going beyond your comfort zone, taking on more than your nervous system is used to handling. It's thinking thoughts you've literally never had before. It's thinking thoughts you've literally never had before. And it's holding feelings that someone once told you were not okay to hold. Think about that. That's what we're talking about here. This whole point here is, it's not that you don't know what to do, you do. You're afraid of what's involved in doing it. So I would urge you to write down what it is you know you have to do. The next 5 projects or the next 5 steps, write them down. And then tomorrow ask, what one small step can I take today towards the next action on my list? Don't skip ahead. Just do the next thing and do it to the very best of your ability, and do it again the next day and again the next day. That's how you grow. To help you do this, I've put together a 1-page summary sheet of the 5 questions you need to be able to answer to move forward, and it's covering what I've written down here. So look around this episode, download this sheet, it's free to access. I want you to complete it, I want you to print it out, complete it, and if you want on Instagram, send me a message of it. I won't share it, I just want to see that you've done the work. You're more capable than you realise, you've got more resources than you realise, you can dig deeper than you are digging right now. And if you just get out of your own head and back into your own physicality, sit at your desk and sit in the discomfort of I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and do it anyway, you will be amazed and shocked at how quickly and how big your life will change. Download the sheet, give it a go.